to remake the world.
I gotta get my blueberries, man.
Simulation, really, to destructuralize, to steal life. It is an anti-life program. It's moving from carbon-based life to silicon-based life.
You know what? I should have got more of that Wagyu and made patties, right, and frozen. But yeah, I was thinking about, you got that thing, like the vacuum seal, right? Right. So we gotta, you know what I mean, like make some, you know what I mean? Cause I got ground beef in there from Argentina.
Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out.
I think I'm gonna build an AK, bro, and put this on it. Yeah, sure.
I see myself clearly, bringing me a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work and left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a
oh yeah, that's good.
Oh.
Woo. It's like limeade.
That's my decision. It's the war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We got protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no posse. Spola, worshiping pedophiles. Wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released from prison with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the Golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive. Survive. What's up? I do it dies for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just light out blue sky but high ground. My crown slash helmet, so my aircraft still spit. Can't be tied down or even sheep building. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked, it caused my hand, I dealt it. Felt the vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. We bust off on some ice and some velvet shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, is a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly zone, haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the still hand, but with Hiller man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow, I set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do more to scamper. Need more to scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as you goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated, while I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm data space AC, y'all. Buster stuck in the cases face off. After the shape the state is a fake, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing the step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, spray the adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas carol lies what your fans get. Your worlds and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the clock. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of pie. I don't want to go for the cracker. I go for you niggas that think that y'all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people and old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
So, y'all really thought that I was done with y'all? Nah, I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Looking past the sci-fi. Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying that ops. From the skybox, I got scope on you pilgrims. The scope with some real ones. Some of our folks are still dumb. Deaf and blind to the fact that blood, we gon' have this real song. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, placate or rage. This is played out.
Oh,
who's a
Dad.
society?
What's up, baby?
Should
What's going on,
have
bro?
been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor. Should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID's no issue. Coulda blown it in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debacle's about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech, yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me. Stand on 2 feet, or turn the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence, mostly disguised compliance. Silence by guidance, from conspiring to novice. Other aspirants of violence, tyrants of fire. Trying to giants who hide, I'm trying to find. And environments and migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hyping. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm non-client. A refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push off the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big Mom says come full circle, so vacate the premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau or Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that, whether your word is bond or whack. Here's a big fact, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau Mau, Big Mac, whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Akichiwa. Signs and symbols are for the conscious minds, y'all. And with that on the temple, draw.
Beat mechanic.
I had a vision the past night, yeah, a circulus round, created successful reality from a virtual now. How? Stand on my square cause they usurp your power. Them same little sneaky breezies that'll hurt you, they smile all up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all bras, but dogs with whole trace. So I walk tall kittens while y'all cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw magic circle around me to keep me from harm. The law fat checks purposely will keep me, I'm calm. Water, fire, air, earth, turn me from that peace to a bomb. Blow the joint to split the range, the plane, the centimeters. I've encompassed my inner demons. 490-degree angles guarded by angel of shiny elite angels. Thank you, and I of course am the chief triangle. If I die before I wake, well at least I'll fly in plain view. I am my circle, how I govern four corners. Wise as a serpent for certain amongst foreigners. Out of state, out of place, in the space they storing us. Learning firsthand of what fate was forewarned of us. I recall when bro and I spit flows, dope man, fly in the shell at Southampton, kept smoke, stay high. Years later, he's the same degree, just gained density. Gave my synopsis, he's hostage. I prayed I could say I behave by locals. I've raised my moral ground, way have my character, stay fly, the conduct squared up, self-esteem, the day sky, new God on what the world's been waiting for, the days not. May I then I don't abide by the same ethics. They feign respect, yet obtain the credit for keeping the obelisk erect, but with strange methods. But the epic of my name will reign and remain epic. Circumscribed by passions, my squares, my lift. Ask, is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rare, I spit, but the beats churchified, so I bear my shit. It hurt, I cried, this kid, and then it tried to eclipse my soul, bounce back from it, announce it, I'm done with being the sacrificial lamb. That jungle, I run it, thus the lion conquereth over this numbness. Made a conscious shift, even in darkness, the sun lit on you, false light. Don't have to be gold to glitter. Actors of the parkers just for show, go figure you get pounding, you bamboo or gorilla. I'm built like a silverback with hella track, no illa max than me. Masturbate her back, originally pretty, take the mask off. 360 on my square, see the circle, if not your mask off. You poemish, dash or soft, the dialogue's trash talk, your past lost. Leave my footprints in the asphalt, use the outline correction, last fall, I blast off, I crash off to the next zest of living, sacredly sex some whose ass off. When she walked that ass off, I talk back to it like who makes your Yanni sing. Her response, she dons me king. To who they gave me the script, my ops the prescription. This is my vision's description. Listen, I'm standing on mine, my circle is me. I absorb your hate and make it work for me. Transform into fuel as I evolve. Advance is abnormal, dormant, form and leave y'all right where y'all started at. Let me impart a fact. She'll be sitting in my ship as we chart the map. Thinking in destiny, the turtle and the hare. Acknowledge me as the circle and the square. Yeah.
Come on now, come on.
Now watch time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, waves the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate, the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, waves the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate, the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge born is when the rhyme and bass drop. I rose up, took a shower, purified my auric field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown chakra core and heel. Pound the pavement, sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child. Rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. Is the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path. Simple, highest form, spiritualities, how you teach math. A humble beast is still a beast. Now feel the beast wrath, rain fire upon them, and the internet forms sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its quorums. Establish big mosques, household, she may restore him. A great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. The last host, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and smash. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grits of their cash. Sad can't watch videos without the subliminals. Predictive programming weirdo sprung minstrel shows. The land's contaminated, fruits and vegetables, like minerals, the water and skies are fried. Liquid chemicals technology got me here in front of my desktop, perusing these beats and whatnot for my best option, contemplating which bar will next pop to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox off the chart. I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh shark water. I'm on the front line, X marks the spot. I shine because of her, but she's the best part. A great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when the rhyme and bass drops.
And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style's too late when apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of flame, my God, it's over. Doing your time is in the end. Locked out, silent without sin. Equip me on the better with justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled on. With suppressors attached in a war zone. Revolution can start in the era zone. I'm a messenger, prophet like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the pitiful, sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. No, I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Oh, and it's too late when the caps get bills. Don't believe it till you see it type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome when it's on the zone. All red and my visions through sight. It's killing be killed whenever I fight. From above, I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' rid them out, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor.
MLL, Carrie, baby girl Slaughter. What's up, y'all? Share this out. Tell them don't be scared. Tell them come on in. Kane, what's up, beloved?
No weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender.
This world is such a and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in the ideal sense. I mean in the everyday, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
I wasn't gonna play some Max. I wasn't gonna play some Max V, but I was like, no, I don't wanna have to erase it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can support Max though on Spotify and SoundCloud. Okay, let me pull this up right quick. So how y'all doing today on this magnificent this most beautiful toxic day of chemicals and sprays and everything else? How y'all doing today? Okay. Whew, y'all gotta excuse me. I'm kind of fighting something. And I think a lot of you may be fighting it. You know, the world is a dangerous place, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do anything. You know, it's funny. Buzz Aldrin I went to Mount Hebron Middle School. Buzz Aldrin, and there's a big Masonic. Well, anyway, if y'all gonna, I could paint a picture and tell you how it looks. How the fake Jews perverted my ancestral republic, my land. But you know, when he went to Antarctica, it was a cryptic message sent out. And you know what? In order to medevac somebody out of there, it takes beyond anything y'all can imagine. Now, when they were dropped in there, you got to remember there was a team, once they got him out of there, that was missing for a couple of weeks. He had a heart attack. All right, Buzz Aldrin did, because he has seen something so vile and evil. I'm attempting to find this video. I saw it once or twice. I saw it once and I watched it for a second time, and I was like, you know, a lot of people that I'm around were very aware of it. Now, I'm not here to press y'all. I'm gonna continue to read, just read, break things down as best I can. But there are things that y'all know how I stress. Make a choice. Everything's a choice. But they control your choices. There are things around me. There are things around you that you know nothing about. I'm very aware around all the things around me, even in their ignorance. But I'm not here to allude to that, because I didn't come as a destroyer. No, I really didn't. I mean, I can obviously leave, however, and then disband this and make the choice to come back as a destroyer, but that's not what it's about. Done that, been there, done that. There's a lot of things that the darkest depths of vile and everything else have colluded to, conspired, or whatever you want to use. And there's things y'all have no idea about. You have clues. Okay? I was expressing to a lot of y'all that there are Jews that fought and that did vile things. The SS fought in the military. Half-breeds, they call them. What is a half-breed Jew? A lot of y'all know about Tiamat, right? Nimrod, blah, blah, blah. City of Ur, which is Nineveh, which is Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq. A lot of you don't know the truth of why they went to Iraq and the things they found and destroyed. The giants, Kandahar, Afghanistan, and all that kind of stuff. But I want to read something to you. I'm going to say something before I read it, because it doesn't necessarily make it factual. It's research material. That's all it is. That's the reason why I got these books. And I was reading it, and I was looking at some information in my PDF, and I'm still kind of tired. I want to lay down, take another nap. And they've, you know, in Utah and Colorado right now, people are falling down with, you know, what is it called? What's called A. The lungs, you know, having a hard time breathing, you know, oxygen, and it's turning into pneumonia. And you've heard the mist and everything else and they're doing it again here. And they're blocking out the sun, temperatures down to 60s. It's not going to stop. Okay. Some of you will be walking around, feel like you're normal and feel like you're having flu symptoms, and you're not sick. I don't want you to feed it energy. I want you to see that. Why is that so hard for y'all to see that you're in a time where you should be defiant, but you don't know what defiance is. You don't know how to make the choice, the proper choice. Why is it that everybody around politicians are all married, children, offspring of Jews? Why is it so hard to comprehend the fact that all governments are playing with the WSO and all the other stuff? I'm here for balance, so I'm gonna talk in a way that's for balance, not because I'm saying that it's for every one of you to up and fight, because a lot of y'all don't know that fight doesn't necessarily mean putting your hands on somebody. I'm gonna read something to you, okay? And yes, I'm not gonna read out the Bastards Grimoire. I have like 12 books on these books. I have plethora of books on stuff like that I would never read to you because it's very graphic. There's uncensored documents and pictures, that things that would make most of you fold over, literally give up your ghost, your source or whatever. Literally, there are some things that if y'all saw it, you would disband from your existence. I'm serious. But this is the Grimoire of Tiamat, okay? When you think of the Lord of the Rings, the eye, the all-seeing eye. Like, all right, let me show you this right quick. Let me see if it's on this one. Okay? Let me show you this right quick. So here, I'm going to actually take this apart and I'm going to show you this camera. This is not even hooked to the phone. It's floating. When you turn the phone off, this thing is always on. Make it here. There are microchips that are beyond comprehension. There are microchips that is, let's say this is right here. Let's say that, oh, this would be good. This is a good example. Let's say that this was my finger, right? Yeah. This is my finger. Let's say that this was a microchip, right? This right here was the microchip, right? So it's my finger. That'd be the microchip, okay? Now imagine that microchip having something like that, a microchip in it, that's small. Now let's magnify that 1,000 times even smaller. They don't have nobody on this earth that can make that. Not here. Remember, my people invented everything. Okay? Y'all have no idea how deep it is. All right? Content creating. That's what I'm doing. I have a story to tell. That's what's really where I need to get to. They think they control that, and they don't control shit. But anyway, I have a story to tell. And I need to tell it to an audience. It's going to be fun. Anyway, I'm going to read something. And y'all need to... look at the people from California and New York that went and fought over, and other places that went and fought over for Israel. And murdering Palestinians as if something was done wrong to them. On a land that doesn't belong to them. How deep and how sick this is. Let me use this as an example. The babies in microwave, the cutting heads off and watching them burn in fire. There's an actual video of innocent people. All right? And the comments from these so-called American fake Jews, these perversions. Lesbians, homosexuals, it don't matter. The Zionists loathe this. They just enjoy it. And I'm getting tired of saying the Zionists. Because it's deeper than that. I read to you about Constantine. because you know they had to play it off with Keanu Reeves and the angels, and you know, it's two lands with different angels, right? One's with mechanical wings, one's with flesh wings, right? Constantine, the vampire, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, right? Have any of y'all been able to put any of it together yet? Of course not. It is utterly misleading. It dissolves any notion of any paparazzi-like mind, because that's what we're dealing with on YouTube and all other platforms. Paparazzi minds that like, look what I got, look what and they don't even know what they're sharing. So I'm going to read this, but I'm going to explain something to you in the beginning of it, okay? And I'm going to further discuss a few things. We're going to probably get into the primal draconian gods like Tiamat, her origin in mythology. Y'all thought Tiamat was a male? Anyway, you see what I'm saying? The misguidance of it all. Later on, we'll get into Lilith as well, and the perversion of it. What is true? What is real? What is scripted? What is theory? What is factual? What is scientific? What is expressible through a delineation of thought, conspiracy or conspiratorial, are just plain out blatant lies, misdirects, redirects. What is the platonic relationship everybody has when they come across information shared once, twice, thrice, or thousands? In this introduction, I want you to hear the first paragraph, okay? So I'm going to read this to you. I'm going to show you the cover again. This is the Grimoire of Tiamat. Doesn't it look like a wine glass? And what do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All they had one little simple job, and it was to leave certain things alone. We always count the Hanukkah, though, which called, we always say that because it's a symbol. They're not supposed to have symbols, because you remember the Zionists, the fake Jews running around spitting on Christians and snatching the chains. You're idolizing symbols and everything. Yet, the Hanukkah symbols, a dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's ready, oh dreidel I will play. We know about the Masonic lines, and you get what's considered Star of Remphan, right? Hold on. And when I was coming up, the menorah was 7, but yet it is 9. What is the sequence of 3, 6, 9? What's the basic conscript of the 7? But you can't see but only what they tell you. The female energy, right? The feminine energy, right? Baphomet, Eldorabat, Yahweh, right? Be careful of what you listen to when people are speaking about things, when they don't know the depths and the depths and how deep the darkness is. But let's go over here and read Enuma Elish. The story of Tiamat and her 11 monsters derives from the Babylonian creation epoch, right? Gilgamesh. Anyway, the Enuma Elish, named after its opening words, when in the height, also known as the 7 tablets of creation. The 7 tablets of creation. This epic is one of the central works in Babylonian mythology. Babylonian mythology. And one of the oldest creation legends in the world, as they say. The myth exists in several versions from Babylonia and Assyria, the most known being the one found in Nineveh, Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, Babylon. In the library of King Ashurbanipal, Gujarat, which dates to the 7th century before the Common Era. What is the before the Common Era? Is this not the Common Era? So if it was in the 7th century, when did the Common Era actually take place? Was it after the 6th century? Well, they tell you that is AD, right? What is it? Is the time lapse, is it correct? Have any of y'all sought to research it? I'm not going to give everything here. It's important what I read here. The legend itself, however, is far older, and it is estimated to be dated as far back as the 18th century before Common Era. The time of a prominent status of the god Marduk. It's funny how they give you the big-ass red dog. Anyway. Oh. And the leading deity of the Babylonian pantheon, who also occupies a central position in the story. The Enuma Elish was first recovered by Henry Laird. Look him up. Around 1849. Isn't it funny? Everything's around the 1800s. In Nineveh, and published by George Smith in the 1870s as the Chaldean account of Genesis. Do y'all know what the Chaldean account of Genesis is? You can download the PDF, okay? And you go to Internet Archives as well, all right? It's a free ebook. I have it, but we're going to see if I can pull it up, all right? From the Internet Archives and Biblical Archaeology, all right? No, I had to find it in my notes, if you don't mind. The Chaldean account of Genesis, containing the description of the creation, the fall of man, the deluge, the Tower of Babel, the times of the patriarchs and Nimrod, Babylonian fables and legends of the gods, from the cuneiform inscriptions by George Smith of the Department of Oriental Antiquities, British Museum, author of History of Ashurbanipal, Nepal, Assyrian discoveries, etc., with illustrations. And this is in London at the Sampson Law, Martin Cyril, and Rivington Crown Buildings, Fleet Street, 1876. And if you know, like I know, it would be 876 because usually the one was an I or a J. Chiswick Press, printed by Withingham and Wilkins, Tooks Court, Chancery Lane. And y'all look at London Bridge, the great city that was on it, the last stronghold of the Negro population before it fell. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Some explanation is necessary in introducing my present work. Little time has elapsed since I discovered the most important of these inscriptions, and in the intervening period I have had, amidst other works, to collect the various fragments of the legends, copy, compare, and translate, altering my matter from time to time as new fragments turned up. Even now I have gone to press with one of the fragments of the last tablet of the Isdubar series omitted. The present condition of the legends and their recent discovery alike forbid me to call this anything more than a provisional work, but there was so general a desire to see the translations that I have published them, hoping my readers will take them with the same reserve with which I have given them. I have avoided some of the most important comparisons and conclusions with respect to Genesis, as my desire was first to obtain the recognition of the evidence without prejudice. Oh, it's all manipulated hogwash. But let's carry on. It's not for me to convene and convey this. The chronological notes in the book are one of its weak points, but that's pretty sick playing it, but I may safely say that I have placed the various dates as low as I fairly could, considering the evidence, and I have aimed to do this rather than to establish any system of chronology, time. I believe that time will show. It's funny how we went from chronology based on the clocks that our ancestors built to time, chronology. It's not one and the same. I don't care what the idiots say. I believe that time will show the Babylonian traditions of Genesis to be invaluable for the light they will throw on the Pentateuch. But at present, there are so many blanks in the evidence that positive conclusions on several points are impossible. I may add in conclusion that my present work is intended as a popular account, and I have introduced only so much explanation as seems necessary for the proper understanding of the subject. I have added translations of some parts of the legends, which I avoided in my last work, desiring here to satisfy the wish to see them as perfect as possible. There still remains, however, some passages which I have omitted, but these are of small extent and obscure consequence. October 26, 1875. 10 years after, huh? In the contents of chapter 1, the discovery of the Genesis legends, cosmogony of Barusus, discovery of cuneiform inscriptions, historical texts, Babylonian origins of Syrian literature, mythological tablets, discovery of deluge texts, Isdubar, his exploits, mutilated condition, and tablets. Lecture on deluge tablets, Daily Telegraph, offer expedition to Assyria, fragments of creation tablets, solar myth, second journey to Assyria, Tower of Babel, clay records. Oh, went to the Tower of Babel, they say. Okay. And then we get into the Chaldeans, the Babylonian mythology, the Babylonian legends of the creation, and other Babylonian accounts of the creation. That's why I keep telling y'all, caught up in this Christian religion, thank Jesus. And I keep saying, what is wrong with y'all that y'all cannot sway the whole reality of it? Okay? To me, it's entertaining. But I need balance. Okay? So, the discovery of the Genesis legends, cosmogony of Barusus, discovery of cuneiform inscriptions, historical texts, Babylonian origin of Assyrian literature, mythology, tablets, discovery of deluge, text, Isdubar, and so on. The fragments of the Chaldean historian Barusus, preserved in the works of various later writers. I say the name on purpose out of text because I have no respect for it. You best hope I never learn your name and say it out of disregard. Preserved in the works of various latter writers have shown that the Babylonians were acquainted with traditions referring to the creation, the period before the flood, the deluge, and other matters forming parts of Genesis. Barus, I'm not going to say it correctly. I don't want to. However, and it's pretty simple to say it, and you can look it up, who recorded these events lived in the time of Alexander the Great and his successors somewhere about 330 to 360 BC. And as this was 300 years after the Jews were carried captive to Babylon, his works did not improve. Now, when they say the Jews of Babylon, right? Let me do this, if you don't mind. Quill. I just wanted to mark it, highlight it. Okay, hold on. The 13th tribe. You see, you know, I've got tons. I want to pull this photo up. Okay. Because we always got remakes and all this other crap and nonsense. I want you to see for yourself something I think that you might find of importance. Why? Because there have been many remakes, and if you don't research it, you will only take in what they give. As you can see, a Negroid. Okay, now that's from an official "Let Sargons Be Sargons" as far as the brass original statue. The eye was changed out. They attempted to remove the Asiatic narrative of the so-called black man. And y'all can pull it up and look for yourself, because you can even go as far as to look at it in its origin of its contextual, and because the one we look at is different from this one. Okay. Whoopee. I'm back. Hold on. We'll get into the damn Tiamat, the grimoire. Just hold yourselves. However, who recorded these events lived in the time of Alexander the Great, and his successor somewhere about 330 to 260 BC. 260, not 360. And as this was 300 years after the Jews were carried captive into Babylonia, his works did not prove. And it's not this so-called fake-ass Jews you see today. 1,000% far from them. For you monkeys running around believing you're Jews or whatever. That these traditions were in Babylonia before the Jewish captivity and could not afford testimony in favor of the great antiquity of these legends. Now, on the discovery and decipherment of the cuneiform inscriptions, Oriental scholars hope that copies of the Babylonian historians and traditions would one day be discovered, and we should thus gain earlier and more satisfactory evidence as to these primitive historians. This is long before Tartaria, right? Long destroyed. That's why they can rewrite and make new narratives in history and everything else. This is very dark things out there you don't know nothing about. Now, in the mound of Cleonjuk, all right, opposite the town of Mosul, Mr. Laird discovered part of the Royal Assyrian Library and further collection, also forming parts of this library, which has been subsequently found by Mr. H. Hassan and Mr. Loftus and myself. Sir Henry Rawlinson, who made the preliminary examination of Mr. Laird's treasures and who was the first to recognize their value, estimated the number of these fragments and inscriptions at over 20,000. The attention of the decipherers was in the first instance drawn to the latter historical inscriptions, particularly to those of the Syrian kings contemporary with the Hebrew monarchy. And in this section of inscriptions, a very large number of texts of great importance rewarded the toil of Assyrian scholars. Inscriptions to Tiglath-Pileser and Shalmaneser, Sargon, Sennacherib, Esarhaddon, Nebuchadnezzar, Nabonidus, and numerous other ancient sovereigns, bearing directly on the Bible and giving new light upon parts of ancient history before obscure for a long time occupied almost exclusively the attention of students and overshadowed any work in other divisions of Assyrian literature. Although it was known that Assyria borrowed its civilization and written characters from Babylonia, yet as the Assyrian nation was mostly hostile to the southern and older kingdoms, it could not be guessed beforehand that the peculiar national traditions of Babylonia would be transported to Assyria. Under these circumstances, for some years after the cuneiform inscriptions were first deciphered, nothing was looked for or discovered bearing upon the events of Genesis. Again, nothing was looked for or discovered bearing upon the events of Genesis. But as new texts were brought into notice, it became evident that the Assyrians copied their literature largely from Babylonian sources, and it appeared likely that search among the fragments of Assyrian inscriptions would yield traces at least of some of these ancient Babylonian legends. Attention was clearly drawn to these points by Sir Henry Rawlinson, who pointed out several coincidences between the geography of Babylonia and the account of Eden in Genesis. Who pointed out several coincidences between the geography of Babylonia and the account of Eden in Genesis, and suggested the great probability that the accounts of Genesis had a Babylonian origin. You can download the PDF, purchase the book, or do whatever it is you may do, and there is a plethora of information that is quite challenging, historically inaccurate, phonetically ethwit, but not tiresomely full of dribble. Anyway, in the aeon of reawakening, forgotten gods and spirits rise to reveal their teachings to those who do not fear to embrace the Gnostic, that was shunned and abhorred for centuries and labeled as demonic, devilish, or forbidden. That means to keep you away from, for those who lack discernment. The bad reputation of the left-hand path. Left hand, we hear a lot about that in martial arts. 4 turtles running around in the sewers in New York. Anyway, let's carry on to the pantheon of this. The left-hand path rests on its antinomian and transgressive practices, which are tempting and attractive in their promise of transforming man into God, or dismantling God into man. These practices are also reviewed as fearful and dangerous. However, as they shatter and rebuild every single aspect of individual psyche, personal life, and the whole perception of the surrounding world, not everyone is ready for this change. Oh, choices. And for many potential initiates to be initiated, and do I need to look that up? Okay. The path becomes a horrible trauma instead of a beautiful and liberating spiritual adventure. That's why it's important to get rid of emotions and feelings to which y'all once didn't have, not too long ago. Instead of a beautiful and liberating spiritual adventure, the teachings revealed in this book are not for everyone either. Casual experimentation with this work is strongly discouraged, as these rituals open the gateways of the soul that can never be closed again. Some of you are very weak, but do not play with it. The Gnosis of Tiamat, the primal dragon goddess, is terrifying, demanding, and transformative on all possible levels of existence. It will take the practitioner to the very womb of chaos, where the soul will be devoured, dissolved, transformed, and reborn in order to become the dragon in essence. The living incarnation of this primordial current. Even though Tiamat and the myth of creation, which inspired the work of this grimoire, are derived from the ancient Babylonian lore, the ritual system presented here can hardly be called Babylonian magic, and it does not claim to be such. There are no archaeological findings or historical accounts that would confirm any form of worship of the primal gods or demonic beings created by the dragon goddess. The only mentions of demons and evil spirits are found in exorcisms and banishing formulas. Therefore, rituals presented in this book do not revive any ancient tradition and are not reconstruction of any lost magical system. Instead, they constitute a framework for the application of gnosis that was revealed through the teachings of the demon gods themselves and are laid down here specifically for those who seek deification, okay, in the modern world. This is a book for occult practitioners of the present century. If y'all would only listen. Enuma Elish, the story of Tiamat and her 11 monsters, derived from the Babylonian creation epic. The Enuma Elish, named after its opening words, when in the height, also known as the 7 tablets of creation. This epic is one of the central works in Babylonian mythology and one of the oldest creation legends in the world. The myth exists in several versions for Babylonia and Assyria, and the most known being the one found in Nineveh. I am like who? Jonah, who sits at the gates of Nineveh? Who expresses to them that God will destroy them, like Sodom and Gomorrah and many other cities. And so they repent. But as I turn away in stubbornness, they go right back to sinning and therefore are devoured. The legend itself, however, is far older, and it is estimated to be dated back as far as back as the 18th century. Here we go, before the Common Era. The time of a prominent status of the god Marduk, the leading deity of the Babylonian pantheon, who also occupies a central position in the story. Now, does that mean that it's not many more names to Marduk? Of course. The Enuma Elish was first recovered by Henry Laird in 1849 in Nineveh and published by George Smith in the 1870s. As the Chaldean account of Genesis, it consists of about 1,000 lines on 7 clay tablets, and the 5th tablet is particularly damaged, and its content has never been recovered in full. The most important, however, is the text of the 4th tablet, which was published in 1887 by E.A. Wallace Budge and translated by A. Sayce. Was it Albert? I don't know. I don't care. The central theme of the myth is the elevation of Marduk above all other Babylonian gods and his creation of the world and mankind from the primordial darkness and chaos which he clothes within. And in darkness and nothing, there is no chaos. The chaotic realm would be the explosion, the bang, the development of something, esoterically. Okay? That's me. Okay, now back to the read. Which he clothes within the frames of a structured order. Therefore, the whole story presented in Enuma Elish is in fact a praise of Marduk, the creator of heaven and earth, and the Lord of the world. And if they're watching, I would advise them not to, seeing how they like to manipulate things, well, they won't last a week or two. Now, from the account of Akkadian rituals described in Rituals Akkadians by F. Thurdo Dangan, 1921, we learn that the epic was recited in Babylon during celebrations of the New Year. On the 2nd day of the festival, a priest of Marduk recited a hymn about the victory of the god over Tiamat and her allies. On the 3rd day, artists made 2 statues of the celebrations, one holding a viper, Abasmu, and the other holding a scorpion, Akramabum, right? Monsters of Tiamat. On the 4th day, the chief priest recited the epic of creation, and on the 6th day, the heads of the statues were cut off and burnt in order to reenact the defeat of Tiamat's army. The remaining days were devoted to the praise of the gods. That's why you can't know the head of the problems now, of the gods. And on the 11th day, the gods, listen to this, returned to the temples and the celebrations were over. The epic had a similar status in Assyria, though with one major difference. Marduk was here replaced by Assur, the chief Assyrian deity. According to the legend, in the beginning there was nothing but the world of primordial waters swirling in chaos, undifferentiated and infinite. And then the waters divided into sweet, fresh waters of Apsu and salty waters of Tiamat, the tears, right? The 2 primeval gods, traditionally depicted as the male and the female, the first divine couple and the parents to all gods and all life. Apart from them, there was also a mysterious entity named Mamu, which took the form of the mist floating above the waters, and was sometimes referred to as the vizier of Apsu. You never seen the little thing, the little dome with the little body upside down? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The union of the primordial couple gave birth to the other deities Lamu and Lahamu, who in turn were parents of Ansar and Kasar, identified with the heaven and the earth. Upside down fishbone. These two had a son, Anu. The nuclear holocaust, the Anunnaki started. Okay, let's carry on. Who fathered Nu-Dimod, the greatest of the gods, God Ea. And the younger gods were very loud and disturbed, and the sleep of Apsu distracting him from his rest. Upon the advice of Mamu, his vizier, he decided to kill them, but Tiamat strongly opposed the plan. In order to prevent the murder, she warned Nu-Dimod, who put a spell on Apsu and killed him, creating his abode on the remains of his slain father. Now, Nu-Dimod became the chief god, and with his consort, Damkina, he had a son, Marduk, who was even more powerful than himself. And when Marduk was playing with winds, creating storms and tornadoes, he disturbed the sleep of the old gods again. Enraged by the noise, they persuaded Tiamat that she should seek revenge for the death of her husband. Upon their advice, she took another consort, the god Kingu. Sounds like something out of Japan, I knew, right? And gave him command over her new army, the 11 terrible monsters whom she had created. Monsters. Would they be gigantic? What is the word for that? Titans? Created to fight in the war. These 11 monsters represent her 11 dark powers, which oppose the powers of the light. Tiamat also bestowed on the Kingu the Tablet of Destinies, a mythical emblem of the supreme authority over the universe. Until that moment, this dominion had belonged to the mother goddess alone, the supreme mistress of the universe and all creation. They can die, remember that. Anyway, the younger gods chose Marduk as their champion and commander of their army, and endowed him with the power of the four winds. 4 directions scattered into the 4 winds. In the battle which took place between the worlds, Marduk defeated Tiamat and split her flesh into 2 halves. From one of them, he fashioned the earth, and from the other, the sky. Her weeping eyes became the source of the rivers, and her breasts formed the mountains of the earth. He took the Tablet of Destinies from Kingu, and he forced the gods who sided with Tiamat to work in service for the other gods. Eventually, he killed Kingu, and from his blood, Nu-Dimod, Ea, created mankind whose task was to replace the gods in their work. Babylon was established as the residence of the chief gods, and Marduk was elevated by receiving 50 names in praise of his powers. If that be the case, and we have read numerous times where we fought, hypothetically, against the custodians or against the Anunnaki, successfully, kind of, what would make you think that they would show themselves right away and not have an entourage to poison and weaken you, to weaken your heart, your vestige of your order, the 33 vertebrae, Jacob's ladder, your chrism, right? Your pineal to reach higher elevations, to walk in and out of, your lower sin arrow to bring it up, which is called Lucifer. I'm only asking because I've asked y'all to research this information numerous times. Could it be fanciful for something totally made up, scripted, to keep y'all running around in circles? Feasibly, possibly so. Inky, yes, honey. The brother of Thoth, aka Amun-Ra. There's plenty of names, son. Plenty, a plethora. Over 6 million. There's a lot more in there that I will not read to you. I don't want you to be contrite and contrived and falling victim to the vibration that comes from me. Y'all should really look at what's going on. There are choices that have to be made. Y'all say blood spilled, whatever you want to call it. But there are those lower beasts in position that enumerate over you in the smallest fractions of numbers, yet y'all can't get it out your head because you've got the dumbest people, the most deplorable persons, not people, and they're racist. They're fundamentally the most dysfunctional in concert, and yet y'all allow programming, through channeling, through lie to your vision, to create your unharmonic false discernment. That's all I wanted to give you for that. Okay? There's a lot of things going on. And there's a lot of reasons. Why would they have to poison you if these things exist? It doesn't dismiss what may be plausible or another reality. But the reality that y'all are far detached from, but so close to, is who you are and what you're capable of. Stop labels, stop names, go into the nothing. Stop the chaos that became light. Did you hear me? Stop the chaos that became light. When a bomb goes off, what is the first thing you see before you hear the concussion and the wind? Feel the wind. Light. What's in the darkness? The abode of nothing. I'll be coming back later to read Beyond the Ice Wall a little later. They're spraying something in the air right now that's debilitating, so be mindful. Be very mindful. Okay? I have some things to look at. All right? Maybe I'll share some with you. Or you can purchase the book and see for yourself what it is that may be useful for you. All right? If y'all donated, I didn't look. I'm not going to look. If you did, appreciate the donation. Again, it'll be put to the building. All right? But I'm going to go ahead and drink my alkalinized water and use the bathroom first. And I'm going to shout some of y'all out. And again, like I said, I appreciate you guys. There's a lot going on. And what do you choose? All these choices. As if, do y'all know? Do you remember? Don't fake make believe remember. And when you do remember, you'll become very calm. And everything won't matter. Because you'll see. Just because I say it doesn't mean, for you to be lethargic. Don't do that. So let me shout you guys out and I'm going to get up off of here. Baby girl Slaughter, I got you, mama. So magnificent. Yeah, I saw you went to the gym. See that? Yeah, Chief, I think. I'll see if I can find it. Deb D. Yeah, brother. What was that? Let me see. People think, yeah, my man. 3 folks this morning. Please don't send me crap on the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. I don't want to hear nothing about that goofy Kendrick Lamar and all that not like us bullshit. Absolutely not like him. Anyway, absolutely gracious Lord, the majority of entertainment is distraction. Hey, Fred, what's going on out there in Indiana, beloved? Definitely. All used against us and to keep us running around distracted. In cahoots beyond the per se ice walls. They always talk about we were searching to put the little yellow English so I don't have ads, right? I hope y'all watching the ads on the ones that do pop up. I really hope you're watching the ads. It benefits the channel. But they do that because they feel some kind of way. Those feelings and emotions allude to the fact that they're not like us. Because I don't really care, even though I challenge it, because I know that they're a fractured existence, okay? But appreciate you guys. That's why the donations are important, because they want to monopolize, they want to manipulate views and all this other goofy stuff. And another friend told me I should do what I did before, is just don't upload nothing for a couple of days, don't go live. And I may take that into account, all right? And then whatever I record or whatever, I'll share at a later time. You know what I mean? Appreciate you guys. Priest of Ashes. See you guys later. Warned you.